Alright. We're gonna have Colin here. Ex-Riven stud. And he could chime in when he feels like. People on YouTube like when I go through patch rundowns and stuff. So this is the patch preview rundown, and this will be good in conjunction with the Kassadin commentary that I just did. So Nimbus Cloak nerf, not really that significant. I don't see how this means that people aren't going to be taking Nimbus Cloak as much as they have been. It almost seems like a nerf to like what's the word, to virtue signal that they're nerfing it, but it's not actually a nerf. Like, I mean,
yeah, it's still gonna be the best.
It's still probably a overtuned pickup, especially if you're dipping into the sorcery tree at all and you benefit from that. AD carries benefit from it. A lot of mids benefit from it. It makes all-ins a lot harder to execute. I don't really see how it goes anywhere based on that. Volibear, Q movement speed,
that's
down. Good. I mean, but again,
that's his only movement ability.
Yeah, but it's not that significant again.
No, it's not.
Kiting him, I will admit, kiting him is kind of difficult, but I don't think this actually changes those situations that much.
It'll just make it like easier to kite, if anything. But
yeah,
you know, it'll still be
those kiting situations where like he barely gets you, like those might go away, but this doesn't really change Volibear outside of that. Like, I'm just thinking those fights where he's like chasing somebody in the jungle and they just can't get out. That's probably where this nerf is going to hit the most. But other than that, I don't see
a little bit in the laning phase against like Quinn or Kennen, maybe.
Oh, yeah. I did play Jace versus Volibear recently too, fucking around. And yeah.
Hit him there, but after that, no, it doesn't change much.
Yeah. Q damage, Syndra, this nerf is piddly. This isn't even a nerf. I mean, honestly, the problem with Syndra is that she bullies all these lanes without much counterplay, and I don't see how nerfing her scaling later in the game really changes how the lane phase plays out that much, so I don't really even count this. Passive cooldown is up to 14. Passive attacks against monsters and champs refund is down to 2. Am I reading that right? So, where's that up? I'm having a brain fart. No, that's down. So the Nocturne mids.
Yeah, it's 2 to 3 seconds.
So they gave him something back for the nerf.
What's the P cooldown?
Passive. That's the Tiamat, the built-in Tiamat. So basically, I don't. Does this really remove
lower wave clear? That's literally that. They just want to remove the wave clear, like Pike, but since you rush Tiamat, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I think I think I'm not too worried about the Nocturne nerf, actually.
The damage is still the same.
The damage is the same. I think the only thing this really changes is the matchups where your opponent is like poking you down and knows how to do it. You're not going to be able to get as much sustain back. So it does hit his sustain quite a bit, but yeah, I don't think it kills Nocturne mid. This isn't anything too crazy. No. This actually makes him faster in the jungle because you're getting the passive cooldown faster. I think the way I think this times out. No, I think it's about the same in the jungle actually. Yeah, this is purely targeted at mid. The Karthus Q AP ratio nerf 5%. I'd say that's actually significant.
That's big for
because
the player in general.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's pretty significant, but I don't think this kills Karthus jungle or mid. I just don't think he holds the top spot. But it does hurt because if you think about Q cooldowns, it's pretty rapid fire, so any damage is felt pretty heavily just because it's spammable. It's not like you Q one time every 10 seconds. I mean, this is like a spammable ability, so I think that's a significant reduction of damage.
The jungle clear speed. But you'll still do damage.
Yeah.
I think they just want him like slower in the jungle because he's just so OP. Power farming right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's the AP ratio 5%. It's significant. I don't know if it takes him out though. No. Q isolation bonus damage being down on Kha'Zix.
Still broken.
Still broken. He's literally like a top tier jungler right now as an assassin.
He still is. Broken.
That Q isolation damage, the nerf, it will hurt him, but it's not. It's gonna bring him down like 1 or 2%.
100%, right? 100% before they buffed it to 120%.
Oh, is this between?
And now they lower it to like it's still a buff. It's still a buff in my book.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he's still strong. He's still a good pick.
He will always be. He was a good pick even at 100%
That's true.
isolation damage.
Yeah, so he's not going anywhere. Set W damage is pretty. Wait, what's going on here?
That's
So
nothing.
the E and the W though both going down. 160 on max W, and then
the E damage.
Yeah, and then 130 on the E as well. I'm gonna say that's pretty painful. Set is a lane bully who scales pretty bad and becomes more of a utility champion. Anything that makes him fall off faster, I think, is going to be felt, and it's going to it's going to feel like you're on a timer in a lot of your games when you play Set, because his cooldowns are so janky and weird. And in team fights, you just kind of become an ult bot. And a lot of these guys go fucking Blade the Rune King and then don't really do much later in the game. So yeah, I think that's significant. That's going to hurt. I welcome it. I hate that champion. I don't like playing against him in lane. It feels like you could play this champion on a Game Boy and still outlane me. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't, because his cooldowns are so long. It just feels like he was designed for someone to be playing on a touchpad, and I just hate it because it feels like you can't play back into him. So that's welcome nerf.
Well, Bork is pretty good on him too.
Yeah,
so
exactly. So yeah, he just
okay. It's an okay nerf. He's still gonna be good though.
Yeah, he's still gonna bully the fuck out of lanes.
Hits the support maybe more than top lane.
Yeah. So Karma, Q mana cost is
65 at all time.
Yeah, hold on, wait, no, that's not what that means. It's lower early, more expensive late.
No, man, the mana cost is 65, level 1 or...
Oh, yeah, you're right, it's 65.
So that's a lot.
Yeah, that's across the board. And the Q cooldown is...
I don't see Karma often, too.
Yeah, this is a pro. Well, because she's flexed into 3 roles.
Got it.
That's the reason. It's because she's played in like 3 roles, and they don't like that. Top, mid, and support shows up in pros, so yeah, that makes sense.
I agree with that Ashe nerf.
Yeah, Ashe is probably top 3 ADC right now, so she's kind of got to be nerfed. It's
late game, yeah.
But it's weird. I think it's weird because I feel like they should just nerf her E. I know that sounds really particular, but hear me out. Like, she gets way too much power in comp with her utility, in that you can just throw the E across the whole fucking map and it reveals the whole fucking map in the jungle. Like, I don't know. I think that's really dumb.
She has no mobility, so it's like you need something.
Yeah, but you could have the E just like land on a target, so the Ashe player actually has to think about where he's throwing the fucking thing.
Oh, yeah, and lower the cooldown maybe. So it's
or something. It just feels weird to target. Like, you said it yourself. She's immobile, so it's kind of cool that she actually does damage. You know what I'm saying? And is functional if played right. But it seems weird to me that instead of nerfing something that's as gimmicky as that E, they're going for the damage, which most Ashe players don't deal any damage anyways, let's be honest. Like, most of them fucking suck. So, I don't know. I would rather just see the E get nerfed rather than damage. Bard, HP's down. The heal value's down. I mean,
perfect.
Bard is... I mean, he's probably one of the best supports in the game right now.
And they're nerfing the early W. When you W in a lane early, like let's say mid, you just spam W and then you go bot.
Yeah.
So they nerf the early healing a lot for that reason.
Yeah, basically support has become, you play an enchanter and you hope that the roamer didn't get too fed, is basically how it goes. And Bard is the king roamer, so it only makes sense that they would nerf him. He just does too much. He's like the Lee Sin of supports. If he's played correctly, I mean, what can you really do? In terms of slowing him down, he just runs around the map and terrorizes anybody, so I think it's fine to nerf him. Nautilus shield base is... I don't know if I agree with this. I'm going to tell you why. Like, I get that Nautilus feels like bullshit when he's winning, but when he's losing, he is fucking useless. So I feel like he's a high-risk, high-reward pick, believe it or not, because when he's...
I would have nerfed something else.
Yeah,
like his old cooldown, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to pretend that Nautilus isn't annoying. He is, but like, he literally does nothing else. Like, he does nothing else except to click on somebody and hopefully it works. And so
that's the base shield. Yeah, shield base. So like, If you fall behind, it's even more of a nerf now.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
you're doomed. Like basically, the next time you see a Nautilus guys do badly in your game, look at how useless he feels as a support. He just feels terrible. Like you could say, oh, his ult's really good. Yeah, sure, but like he literally will just die over and over again because he has no real way. Like he just hooks in and dies. It's pretty dumb. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with Nautilus. I don't know if I'd nerf him quite yet because I feel like enchanters like Lulu and Soraka and Yumi and Karma and shit like that. I don't see how this is fair to Nautilus when those champions do so much with very little risk. But that's just my opinion. Okay, buffs. Ziggs passive AP ratio is up to 50 across the board, 50%. Damage to towers is up to 250%. So I guess Riot really wants Ziggs to be a thing because I think that's a pretty significant buff, don't you?
It is, but you need to time your passive better now. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's good though.
I feel like it's really good. It is really good for your passive poke and all, but it doesn't change Ziggs in general.
No,
Your wave clear is
no.
not faster, everything else not faster. But if you use your passive on a tower, you
Or a
just hit it
champion,
harder.
you still get some more power, for sure.
But damage to tower is 200 to 250.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts too. Yeah.
I think it's a good nerf. A good buff. Won't make it OP.
Yeah, he's not really. I don't think he's a. I don't think he's
I
a.
just think
Yeah.
it'll make him good. Just to put him good like that before. But now he's gonna be. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, no, the more I think about it, I think you're right. I don't think it changes that much. And Ziggs historically hasn't been that good of a champion. Yeah, he's now that I look at the win rates, he's actually I thought he was sitting higher, but he's not. He's not even sitting that high, like yeah, he's not even sitting high where he should be sitting high, which is like newbie elos, you know what I mean? Like people that can't dodge skill shots, he doesn't do well. So yeah, this might not even be that big of a deal. This might I mean, you're probably still not even gonna see him play it.
If you play Ziggs good, you'll be rewarded more now. Yeah. Pretty much, because you'll be able to get plating faster.
Yeah, that's true. And that's valuable.
Why are they buffing Akali? What? Excuse me?
Yeah, I agree. I hate Akali.
Champion's bullshit.
I literally, I spend half of my patch rundowns. Anytime they mention Akali, I always say, I wish that they would just trash this champion because playing against her when she's viable is the most AIDS thing in the game. Like, hands down. There's a reason that I default ban Akali when I don't know what else to do. Because just seeing Akali makes me mad for the rest of the day. Everything about her design, the stupid rework, mobility, the stupid invis that you can't see. And it's like, I don't know. The fucking manaless, like all of it just pisses me off. So fuck this champion, fuck this buff. If I see this champion too much, I just ban it permanently. Nico, Q damage is up and Q blue damage is up. Fuck Nico as well.
I hate that champ too.
Yeah, this is another one.
I've never seen her in a while, so I mean, I kind of see why.
Yeah.
Try to buff her. I have not seen her. I don't even know if she's a jungle, a bot lane support, mid. I don't know.
She was terrorizing pro play because Faker would run around and get amazing flanks. But the thing is, the parts of Nico that are annoying are the laning. You can't gank her, and she pokes the shit out of the lane. It's the most unfun lane ever.
Well,
and you can't
she's
engage
gonna
on
poke
it.
Even more now.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't like it. So I'm not a fan of it. Veigar buff, MR up 2%. That's nothing.
Yeah, that's nothing.
I was kind of excited to learn Veigar, but after seeing that, I mean, I might pick him as like a stall the game pick, but yeah, that's nothing. Yasuo, same thing. AD ratio. The R bonus AD ratio is up.
That's 25%.
Yeah, it's significant, but nothing really. I mean, he's still weak in lane. He's still kind of useless. Still exploitable. I'm not seeing much change there.
Fiora?
Yeah, so this was the other one that was coming down the pipeline. So Fiora's Q cooldown. Wow.
So she's gonna spam Q to you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Great.
Wow. This one,
yeah, that's really big.
Yeah, that's a crazy buff, especially late game.
That is just too massive. Because late game or even mid game, you'll be getting your 40% CDR, and that's just literally Earth mode Fiora in normal. That's so let's say you have 4-second cooldown on Q, reduce it by 50. What is it? 50%. So that's 2 seconds. You just spam it every 2 seconds. Nah, that's too good.
Yeah, this is sick. Okay, so the reason that I'm like, I agree it's bullshit, but at the same time, I know why they're doing it, because they find that there's no other play for top laners to make right now other than to go group champs that like play dragons. Like Fiora doesn't really 1v9 solo queue unless she has a lead, and her splitting isn't actually as threatening, or her scaling isn't as threatening as you would think it would be. I know people are gonna think that I'm underselling it, but it's just how I feel testing it over and over again with Fiora. Like if I play Tryndamere and I split push, I can at least team fight sometimes with Tryndamere. Like if I have like 10 kills on Tryndamere and I try to team fight, it looks sensible. But if I have like 10 kills on Fiora and I try to team fight, I literally feel like I'm 0-10 trying to team fight. Like it's really risky, really shitty. It does not feel good. You don't feel great. And the only thing that you're supposed to do is be able to duel people and side lane, but you're not really encouraged to side lane, because the minute that you side lane, you lose like Soul Drake or whatever. So I don't know. I agree. It's probably overkill.
Still bullshit.
It is. I mean, I agree. It's overkill. But I know why they're doing it. The E cooldown on Jax is lower. That's just the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. That's the dumbest.
It's only early game, but
it's so
he
fucking
doesn't need
stupid.
it.
It's just stupid. I mean, it's this champion.
So
yeah, this champion is stupid.
Okay, he's hard to play, but in good hands, he's just so broken.
I mean, it's the same. It's the.
Okay, his laning is what makes him kinda
the risk.
Risky,
that's the risk.
You know?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like NEACE. So you go in lane with Jax, you get shit on, but you scale so hard it doesn't matter. But now they're just like, yeah, your laning's easier now.
Yeah, it's a very strange buff, considering Jax, in my opinion, does pretty well all ELOs, because if he gets to late game.
Look at TF Blade, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's the dumbest thing. The Fiora one is probably pretty dumb too, though. Equally as dumb, the more I think about it. Evelyn lane flex. Q cooldown 4 seconds remove. Q refunds 50% of his cooldown. I don't want to see Evelyn in lane, and she's not going to be viable in lane, so this is dumb. I don't even care.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, it's going to... Maybe noobs will play it and make stupid clickbait videos, but other than that, it's dumb. E-Hecarim move speed is up to 100% over 3 seconds later in the game. Hecarim buff's pretty significant. He doesn't even do that bad in solo queue. And he's never going to show up in pro.
Massive fast. Like, he's already fast. He's just going to be faster.
Yeah, it's a significant buff.
Sure,
he does pretty well. He's a good scaling champ. He's a quick farmer.
We'll see him more with that, maybe. But
yeah, it's not gonna change much.
It's the same damage. Yeah, it's okay.
Maybe top lane Hecarims will like that too.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Skarner Q mana cost 15 so to 10. Q AD ratios up. Huh. Well, Skarner's weird because I already talked about this before, but like, he's a weird champion that plays top sometimes. So some of the top lane Skarner guys like it. He doesn't really show up in solo queue very often, so I think a buff is warranted. Yeah, but I don't know. That champion is pretty much a mystery to me. Tristana.
Oh my. Why?
Yeah, E damage is increased
in my
by
opinion,
2%.
Tristana is already giga broken. Literally, she is so good.
She's so good. She is good as a... Well, would you say...
She's not like an AD... Okay, she is an ADC, but in a 1v1, she is just too good. I can one-shot anyone.
My question is, would you view Tristana as a better mid or an AD carry?
Mid.
Interesting. The reason I ask is because I feel like there is definitely a space for Tristana in the meta as a mid pick, and this buff seems unwarranted purely off of the fact that it's actually a strong mid pick already. Like, I don't even know why it's being buffed at all.
It's gonna buff the late game, so you're gonna be able to one-shot late game now. It's like, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I don't think this is a necessary buff. I think this is kind of silly. It makes me want to play it to cheese people, just because it is a cheese. It's a plate cheese. It's really good. And it's pretty reliable late game damage. So I don't know. I don't agree with it. I don't like the lane phase at all.
I kind of want to play her more now.
Yeah, you can play her. Lucian. Lucian buffs. I think it's fine. Lucian kind of sucks right now.
That's a lot of shots. Sure. Sure.
That's a lot of shots.
What?
Well, they're not changing the shot. Oh, I guess they are a little. Yeah.
It is a lot of shots.
It's a lot of extra shots. I mean, Lucian kind of needs a buff. He's kind of whack.
Yeah, that's fine.
Base AD on Misfortune's
buff his range, man. Just buff his range. Poor Lucian, man.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I don't see the other picks like. I don't see him taking over games yet.
Lucian's never gonna be good now. Every champion has so much mobility. You have to get so close to them, you just die.
Yeah, that's a good point. You got to be a god to play Lucian. Misfortune, 80 buffs up 2. Significant.
Why?
Well, it's because she's getting shit on in pros, basically, and she's not showing up at all, and she's losing pretty much every lane, and she doesn't really do much late game, so I get it. You got to win lane with Misfortune with this buff, otherwise she sucks. Q cooldown on Morgana is down.
Okay.
10. I mean, yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, Morgana's kind of strong, but at the same time, it's kind of like a utility
1
pick.
second, it's like, sure.
Yeah, it's a utility pick. It doesn't really carry, in my opinion. It's just like, is your team winning? Okay, she's going to win more.
Ooh, Rakan, that's a good buff.
Yeah, it's a lot of move speed. I don't know. The thing that they lost me on out of all of this is the Jackson Fiora. Seems like a very targeted, like, we want top lane to look a little different.
Akali is kind of stupid.
Akali's dumb. I hate Akali. But I do think the Jackson Fiora... I mean, I get why they buff Akali, because she's not really showing up, and she's not winning when she does show up. But Fiora and Jax are doing fine, so... It just seems like a really... It seems pro for... I mean, the patch does it does say focus on pro for summer playoffs and worlds. This is literally targeted towards pros, this Fiora and Jax shit. Like, I can 100% tell. So, terrorize...
I agree on the pro level. To have more Fiora and Jax is more fun to watch.
Well, it's that, and you're right. It's that, but it's also... It's a meta thing. They don't like that it's all about team fight. You know what I'm saying?
But that's good. That's good. If they start to go in that path,
yeah, they basically want an excuse for somebody to go, I'm gonna play Fiora and take towers.
That might be the wrong.
Yeah, to just overkill a champion right before a tournament. It sounds like fucking Fortnite. Anyways, there you go, editor. Clip that shit. We got the Kassadin versus Zed matchup. Let's see here. Yeah, so what was I saying? The last one. Basically, Kassadin, really good pick right now. Does really, really well as a scaling pick. And most of the matchups that you're going to run into are push roamers. And if the push roaming doesn't work for them, you come online and you 1v9 later in the game. So we're going to be playing into Zed, which is historically a pretty big Kassadin counter. You get reduced armor as Kassadin. Kind of just like E-maxing in these types of lanes. Just try to avoid free damage. Don't get free autos either. Okay, so Zed got level 2 and didn't actually try to trade with us right away like he's supposed to. And this is what I talk about in the coaching all the time about feeling out the matchup. And if you take trade, like if someone doesn't trade correctly when you walk up to them, then you can abuse the matchup. So at level 2, Zed's supposed to just kind of push you out, and he didn't try to do anything, so I take advantage of that and take a short trade and back up. But you won't know unless you actually go for a short trade. I'm gonna max E, I think, in this matchup. And we're just gonna, if we can keep him back here, farming from range, that's good for us. So he gets level 4. We still have our teleport to use. Probably going to be rushing Seekers in this matchup. It's because it's a very dangerous matchup to not have armor in. Okay, that's a lot of damage, so we're going to back up. Because he connected with the W. Zach's here in my lane. Just going to reset real quick. Get some armor and come back. We're going to zone him off of that siege. Yeah, he goes for the trade instead of the farm. And now we have the wave where we want it. We're going to set up a freeze right here on this side of the map. We're going to try to stop his back. Almost. It'd be really powerful backstop if we get it, just because it keeps the freeze even that much longer. That's okay though. Not going to do anything like flash forward or nothing. That'd be really silly. And we're just chilling. Chill, chill. We have plenty of armor now, and I cheated a little bit by going refill just to make the lane a little bit easier for me. Just because lanes like these, you outscale them so ridiculously hard if you don't die in lane, that I think it's fine to invest in yourself a little bit. Like invest in the early a little bit. Because if you're winning in farm... Oop, misclick. We're gonna spike 6 here and jump on him and try to hit him with a big trade. The idea is to just catch him off guard. It also gets us a shove. Because if you do it this way, you make it so that he has to back off. When he spikes 6, he's not as threatening. Like that. Get these. And then from here, we're going the standard build. We're not going to complete Zonias or anything. We're just going to go Seekers. That should be enough for us for now. If Zed starts getting big, we might rush a stopwatch, but I'm not too concerned yet. I have no reason to be yet. This guy's got to be dead. Same thing as before. Zed wants to back. We're going to try to stop his back and then reset. Stopping his back here is really, really important. He wants to buy items and pressure you in lane. If you stop his back, you delay that. He's gonna have to flash if he wants to kill. It's super unlucky. Good. I think it's okay. Zach's gonna have to shove mid. Zach also flashed after us. Thought we had a little bit more damage there, but obviously, like, with Kassadin just having Seekers isn't that much. Trade's still favorable for us. We still have an XP lead. Kane's pretty far behind, though. Kane's kind of getting dunked on right now. Kane only being level 5 in that fight hurts us a lot. If he's level 6 there, I don't think it's a close 2v2 at all. Zed shouldn't have ult. Oh my god, give it a rest. Okay, so Fiora runs to our lane, we survive her ult. Zach's having a big solo lane fail right now. We're gonna try to get this lane under and back off, so we don't waste too much mana, because we need our R to get out of this situation. And we're just gonna float here and leech this XP. Because Zach's over this wall and has proven competency. We gotta ping this. Ping that Zed's probably coming. He's probably rotating up. There's no way he survives here. Yeah. So Zed gets the shutdown. That's not good. Because what that means is he's going to do a lot of damage once he buys. And he's going to be able to match us in side lane for quite a while longer now. It sucks, but it happens. It's not a big deal. We're going to try to push the lane out. Fiora is one of those champions we don't really try to fight. Unless she lets us. I am tempted to follow her to top. I'm gonna go around this ward. We're gonna go around this ward and then fight her here. Thank you, sir. So we snuck around the ward on that one. Make it harder to detect. We get Zach's ult. I expected Zach to be bottom, not top. But he went to top and then Kled didn't get the remount, which is whatever. Happens. We're just gonna fake. Try to keep Zach nearby. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. It's perfect. Just keep people interested, waste their time. So Zach took Rift, which means that we could probably be roamed on here soon. And now we're gonna slow push the wave in. Fiora's so behind and top. She's got really bad XP, which means just off of base stats and our R and W, we can just punish her and push her out of lane. I'm gonna go ahead and shove, I think. It looks like we get free plates. I definitely want a plate here. You gotta put the pressure on this Fiora. Bad player, you need to farm as much as possible. So we've basically swapped with Kled to take advantage of this Fiora, and it's just kind of been based on the fact that he went to mid after I TP'd to top. And that's fine. If there's no reason to back, you don't have to feel pressured or anything. If you're free farming in top because the lane's so gimped, that's a fine move too. That's completely standard stuff. We're trying to get to Rod of Ages anyways. We're We're gonna back now and probably sell our door and shield for the Rod of Ages. Since she just wasted her parry, I'm tempted to try a dive here. Since Cled was coming up, we went ahead and canceled our back to try to set that up. Looks like we get a free tower. Yeah, I'm gonna let this tower fall and then get our Roa. Cled's TPing, so I'm gonna shove this all the way in. Now with Kassadin, the one important thing to remember is that you really don't have to worry too much about AP. Like, as a good rule of thumb, you don't have to worry about that. We're gonna go stopwatch just for the inevitable Zed showdown later. If he split pushes. If they don't split push, this is good for us. Show up in mid for a second, start heading to bottom. Okay, this guy's not listening to me. I'm gonna keep moving until he does. So you don't want to stay in mid as Kassadin. When you can side lane, you side lane. We're gonna let this wave die here, and then we'll move the wave forward. Yeah, we could let this whole thing push down if we want. But this is what you want to do when you try hard with Kassadin. If your team's doing well, you play it like it's the fucking LCS finals. Don't get lazy. Lazy like I am, missing farm. You put the enemy team on a timer. Now, since they're sieging mid, I'm gonna push this. Watch mid very closely and start shoving. And now I'm 2 levels ahead, and I have a window where I can actually go fight people. And I have stopwatch. We'll start backing. Now you see how we did that? We froze for a second, pushed the wave out when we needed to. Damn. We did not want to lose that kill. We still had stopwatch too, by the way. This is why when I coach people, I often wind up criticizing mids about not doing the right thing in the side lanes. Like, you need to side lane as a mid laner. You need to side lane. You need to try to get used to playing by yourself and managing waves and dueling people by yourself. If you look at your games after, if this video makes it to YouTube, if you look at your games, I guarantee you most of the time, most of the Kassadins you see never have this kind of farm. And this isn't even an impressive farm. I'm just saying, like, most Kassadins don't. They do a bad job of farming. Most assassins don't. Look, I'm missing farm because I'm talking. There's definitely a Zac down here. We're gonna reset with teleport and kill this Caitlyn. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see where she goes first. And just like that. Just like that. All we're doing in that fight is we're just waiting to see what cooldowns they use. And then we turn. Kassadin's all about just kind of bob and weave in fights until he likes to jump in. And generally it just amounts to you have to bait your teammates. You bait the fuck out of your teammates. That's all it ever is. At this point now, we're just getting bigger and bigger. The plan, probably just keep working the side lane and then flank. Lots of flanks. Zed trying to free farm? I don't know about that. Yeah, I think he used his W as well. Nice try by Jinx. And they surrender. There you go. That is the Kassadin playstyle. I mean, honestly, I didn't really do much that game, but that's kind of what I was saying going into this, is that you really don't try to crush lane. What you do is you just become a ticking time bomb, make smart decisions, make smart teleports, and then look for carries like by themselves that you can isolate and kill. Like there, you see, we didn't really do much in lane, and then we wound up doing that kind of damage anyways. So, cool. I'm gonna have my editor clip this. Let me know if you guys liked it. This is a different champion than what I normally do. I'm learning some new champions because a lot of my stuff's getting nerfed. TF got nerfed, Nocturne's getting nerfed, and I was working on him, so just trying to figure out my play style for the next couple of months. I hope you liked it. Peace.